Hey, internet friends, cousins, and scoundrels. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Pull up a chair, honey, and let's have a chat. And since the algorithm really likes it when you interact with the content, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe since you're here. Now I ain't gonna hold you. Let's get right into this.
You know what? The cast on this show is an entire trip to me. Seriously. I just have never seen anything like it before. It's like they gathered the most ungrateful, raggedy bunch of individuals, plopped them in one location, and then hit the record button. Seriously, this shit is insane. I have never, ever seen a cast this trifling, right? Everybody's got a mugshot. Everybody's got a lawsuit going. It's absolutely insane, right? And ever since Mel and Martell got divorced, it seems like the rest of these people were promised the title of top couple, but they have to push Mel and Martell off the show first, right? That's what it feels like, because the way these so-called friends flip-flop on both of these two is just absolutely wild. And I'm not taking up for Martell. Martell can kick rocks. Martell can go straight to hell. But let's not pretend that they don't gun for him too, really, right? Hell no. Listen, this cast only appears to be aligning with Martell, right? But they're just doing that temporarily. The alliance is strictly giving the enemy of my enemy is my weapon type of energy, really, right? Because trust and believe, the second they get Mel out of the picture, Martell's ass is up next. Mark my words. Anywho, this video is going to be about Nell Fletcher. That's right, Miss Nell, the matriarch of the group. Now, you'd think being the elder and the so-called wealthiest and the person with the longest marriage in the room would make her the wise go-to guru for all things business and relationships, right? Well, hell, you be thinking wrong, okay? Old girl is not giving sage wisdom. She's giving loud, wrong, and messy auntie at the cookout. That's what she's giving, right? She's giving a whole sequined embarrassment is what she's giving. That's what it is, okay? Look, the way this woman showed her natural drunk ass on that girl's trip, you would think she would be embarrassed, right? But no, she's over at Mel's house with a bone to pick. Not an apology for acting an ass. Yes, you heard me right. A fucking bone to pick. And a bone to pick about that damn room of all things, right? This grown woman is still pressed about the rooming arrangement from the girls' trip.
I got in my feelings because I couldn't find my name.
I know.
I feel like I at least should have had Sonny's room. I don't feel like she's closer to you than me. I could be wrong. I'm like, is Mel trying to push my buttons?
This grown ass woman is still pressed about the rooming arrangements from the girls' trip. I'm sorry, what? She's mad she didn't get Sonny's room? Like, if it was that serious, why not have pulled Mel aside and asked her about the logic for the rooming assignments when you were there, Nell? Why not have been a whole adult and express your feelings instead of turning up and acting like a goddamn fool about a name card? Stop it. It was childish. It was like pre-K levels of entitlement, the way you stomped around that damn house. You should be ashamed, right? You should be here with an apology, actually. Okay? Then Nell says, well, I thought I was closer to you than Sonny, but I could be wrong. Ma'am, please. Are you fucking for real? Is she fucking for real, y'all? You want Mel to feel guilty about the room assignments? Is that why you're here? Girl, if you don't get your ass up out this lady's house with this fuck shit, please get the hell on with this. This is stupid. Like, are you serious right now? Nell, you want Mel to feel bad about that room arrangement? Really? She's not close to you because of that? Okay. All right. Well, since you put it out there, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it since you want to be the victim, okay? We, the audience, also thought you and Mel were close until your actions completely told a different story. Let's run the receipts because you couldn't be bothered to show up for none of Mel's big moments. The Carlos King podcast, missed it. First, you claimed the tickets were sold out, but then when Mel hit you with that quick, girl, why didn't you call me? I could have gotten you in. You hit her with excuse number 2. Oh, I was out of town. Okay, well, which one was it, Nell? Was it sold out or were you out of town? Because see, now that looks like a whole fucking ass lie, okay? Then there was the Mimosas with Melody event in Atlanta, another no-show. The concert in Birmingham, absent. Another mimosa event, you guessed it, no Nell. Girl, at this point, you ain't been the shit. Friend. Close friend. Well, I'll take that back. You did show up for one thing. Mel's name change ceremony. But wait though, okay? Were you really there for Mel or were you there as Martell's emotional support ambassador? Let's not forget, we saw you invite him to your house to let him know you were going to that event. And then we saw him cuss your ass out about it too, okay? And at this point, I am almost certain that when the cameras stopped rolling, you called him back to let him know that you were just going so that you can provide him some feedback about it, since you and Chris were the only people in the friend group to get the invite. And I'm going to say this about the invite, okay? Kimmy and Tisha were not invited. Why? Because Mel genuinely didn't think they would be happy for her. She knew they didn't support her. The fact that you and Chris got an invitation in the first place said that, hey, out of all these people, I know Chris and Nell are for me. They actually care about me. And that's why you got the invitation, okay? That's why you got it. But guess what, though? You didn't come to that ceremony with good intentions. And that's my opinion, okay? I felt like you were there on a recon mission. I felt like you were there to deliver intel. I do. I am absolutely convinced that Nell was at that party snapping pictures, taking mental notes, and sending updates to Martell via text. Yep, that's what I believe, and you're not going to change my mind, so don't try to get in my comments and do that, okay? That's what I believe, okay? And I said that because instead of celebrating Mel, Nell spent her entire time delivering Martell's feelings about the name change ceremony to Mel. Like, excuse me, Nell, you really thought this was appropriate, right? You thought this was the appropriate time and place to deliver Martell's unsolicited opinion? No, ma'am. I don't believe that. I believe that Nell was definitely sent on a mission. I don't care. I said it. So Nell, you can miss us with this fake closeness, okay? Actions speak louder than words. And yours are screaming messy, disloyal, and phony. Shit. Then Mel brought up the whole mentoring thing, right? And I don't know why she did that, because as soon as Nell agreed to that, Mel laughed dead in her face, right? She shut her ass all the way down. Mentor who? Ma'am, I have a mama, a therapist, and God on speed dial. I don't need you for guidance, right? And honestly, I believe that's Mel's truth now, okay? But let's keep it real for a second. There was a time when Mel and Martell seemed to treat Nell and Chris like their unofficial marriage counselors, which actually is a better term for what Nell and Chris were doing versus mentoring, as Mel pointed out, right? That term is used to describe a business relationship. Okay. But the truth is, both Mel and Martell have admitted multiple times on this very show that they sat with Nell and Chris to talk about their marriage struggles, right? And I know y'all remember the intervention ambush at Nell and Chris's house between Mel and Martell. Hell, they even recapped it on this episode, okay? Now, why I also believe that these people were their counselors is the significant age gap between these two couples, right? That doesn't exactly scream peer friendship. It doesn't. So if you look at Mel's usual circle, Nell is the oldest woman, and by far, right? She should really be hanging more with Stormy's mom or, Tisha's mom, actually, okay? That's more of her peer group. And that alone, right, suggests that there was some kind of mentor-like dynamic going on. whether Mel wants to admit that today or not, okay? But the thing is, Mel has since glowed up, right? And that glow up has made her wiser, and she can see things for what they really were, basically. She's gotten real therapy, she's done the work, and now she's surrounding herself with people who genuinely support her, okay? Mel has learned to distinguish, if you will, between actual help and what Chris and Nell were doing, which was grooming her to stay in a toxic marriage. That wasn't counseling, okay? It was enabling. And Mel can see that fact for what it is now, and she's reclassified Nell's so-called help as just being a listening ear. Look, hindsight is 2020, right? And now Mel can see that there was absolutely no value in the advice Nell was giving, okay? She wasn't mentoring, she wasn't counseling. Nell was babysitting Mel's misery and calling it wisdom. It wasn't uplifting, it wasn't empowering or transformative. It was just noise. Noise designed to keep Mel stuck to dysfunction. Since Nell wants to bring her grievances to Mel's doorstep, Mel decided to return the favor, okay? And she hit Nell with the real issue. And that was Nell sitting her funky cock up there on bloggers' platforms, running her damn mouth about her, okay? Now, Nell tried to pretend like she didn't remember what or knew what, Mel was talking about, but Mel was ready. She whipped out the receipts, played the tape for her, and Nell just started popping out with a long list of excuses, okay? It doesn't matter. The fact remains that you should just simply say no comment, right? You just no comment. That's all you have to say. You should just say no comment, okay? And the fact that you put Mel and Martell in the same category, knowing all of their, troubles, since you love to claim that you were counseling them through these struggles, you already know what it is. You already know what caused the rift in the marriage. You also know about the revenge P plot. So how you think they're both the same, I don't get it. Okay. And honestly, at this point, I don't know why any of these cast members would accept an interview and then spend their entire time talking about Mel. It doesn't make sense. It seems like without Mel, you don't have nothing to talk about. You ain't got shit popping, right? But really, the truth is they don't want to talk about themselves because they would have to tell the truth, okay? Or tell more lies to keep up the facade. Either way, it's stupid for them to keep bringing up Mel, right? Now, Miss Nell claims to be, tell it like it is type of person, right? But where was that energy in the kitchen with Mel? She was nodding along and agreeing with every single thing that Mel had to say. Did she not? Okay. But then we find out that she did have a problem, right? Like, ma'am, where was this when you were face to face with Mel? Why didn't you say how you felt? Okay. If your feelings were hurt by Mel shutting down the whole mentoring narrative, why not just pick up the phone and say that? Be a grown-up, Nell. You should have called Mel back after you've had time to process it, as you say, and let her know how you really felt, right? But no. Instead of addressing it like an adult, you wait until you've got an audience with these cameras rolling to play the victim. And that's to stir shit up. It really is, right? Now, this is the same woman who claims she's all about being honest and direct, right? But she's pulling sneak disses and acting fake to Mel's face. Make it make sense. Now, again, if Mel's response about mentoring hurt your feelings, just say that to her, not Chris, not these cameras, right? Simple communication really isn't that hard, or it shouldn't be for someone who claims to be a mentor. Honestly, the hypocrisy is exhausting to me, right? Why don't you take accountability for the shit you've done, Nell? How about that? And the truth is, in my opinion, Nell isn't mad about that damn room, right? And she isn't really that mad about this mentoring shit either. Hell no. That's a cover story, okay? What's really eating at Nell is the fact that Mel has finally woken up and cutting ties with the people and toxic energies that, she doesn't need in her life. Mel has separated herself from the drama, the freeloaders, and the fake friends who only mean to harm her. And for some reason, Nell is big mad about it, right? Hell, let's get this bitch a cape because she is super mad about it, honestly. Okay? She can't stand to see that Mel is no longer listening to her bullshit or letting other people control the narrative about her life. Hell no. Mel is taking ownership over herself, and it's really pissed people off in the worst kind of way. I've never seen anything like it, right? Nell, you claim to be the tell it like it is type of person. But no, you're just like the rest. You're passive aggressive, you talk in circles, and then you get behind her back and talk cash money shit instead of telling Mel to her face and in the moment your true feelings. This is about you feeling left behind, not a damn room, not that comment about the mentoring. Just be honest about it, okay? Child. Anywho, what do you guys think about Nell's flip-flopping? What would you guys do if your so-called counselor was out here acting fake, talking shit behind your back, and then dodging direct conversations? Would you take it okay? Would you ask them about it? Or would you just cut that person off? Should Mel have given Nell more details as to why she doesn't feel like Nell is, was a mentor or a counselor to her for all those years? Or should Nell have just understood where Mel was coming from, right? Or better still, does Nell even see herself as grooming Mel to stay in a bad and toxic marriage? Could it be that she was pulling her ideology from an outdated playbook and she actually thought she was helping Mel? Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, bet you know now.